In the headlines, an update on the status of power restoration in Rocky Mount. 2 more counties may be getting disaster assistance after the blast they received from Hurricane Irene. We bring you the latest in area crime and a new program helping local authorities to catch the bad guys, as well as a look at how a local tech business and church work together to feed our community. These stories and more coming up on NewsBreak starting now.
From WHIG-TV, this is NewsBreak 31. Now, here's Marie Torres.
Hello and thank you for watching WHIG-TV Newsbreak, your voice in the community. I'm Marie Torres. First, we update you on the status of power restoration in Rocky Mount. About 95% of residents that endured Saturday's massive blackout from the destructive Category 1 Hurricane Irene now have lights. About 325 city employees work to help Rocky Mount residents. As of today, the City of Rocky Mount's public utilities is working on restoring power for about 1,000 customers. Still left in the dark, just a handful of Progress Energy customers were without power last night. Today, most schools were open, with students having 1 or 2 hour delays this morning. The City of Rocky Mount is making 2 special announcements. First, the city is warning you of potential scams during the cleanup process. The city urges residents to use reputable and insured contractors for people who need help cleaning up debris on their property. Scam artists normally target elderly residents, but all residents are encouraged to either use a business they trust or only pay those willing to help clean up only after the work has been completed. You should call Rocky Mount Police at 252-972-1411 if you suspect a scam. Also, the city will be working to collect storm-related debris throughout Rocky Mount. They ask that you place your debris at the edge of your property for crews to collect. They need to be separated into 3 piles at the edge of your property. 1 for limbs and yard debris, 1 for structural debris such as shingles, siding, plywood, or construction debris, and wet or damaged carpet, and 1 pile for any metal debris such as chain link fencing. Officials say they anticipate garbage and recycling collection will continue as scheduled this week. At the earliest, they say they do not expect to collect yard and bulk waste until the end of next week. 2 more counties may be getting disaster assistance after the blast they received from Hurricane Irene. Yesterday, President Barack Obama approved Governor Beverly Perdue's initial request for individual assistance for Beaufort, Carteret, Craven, Dare, Hyde, Pamlico, and Tyrrell counties. Today, the governor has asked that Halifax and Lenoir counties be added to that list for individual assistance. The state's emergency management director also recommended the 2 counties be added to North Carolina's federal disaster declaration request for public assistance. This program helps local governments with the cost of responding to the storm, as well as cleaning debris and repairing infrastructure. According to Perdue's office, more counties may be added to both lists. In our crime report, an area victim is safe today. His accused attacker is behind bars. Rocky Mount police say they recently arrested and charged 37-year-old Cruz Gill with attempted robbery and assault with a deadly weapon after he allegedly stabbed and robbed a man trying to escape the heist. The victim, a 44-year-old man, said Gill approached him last Thursday demanding cigarettes and money while he was walking on North Pearl Street. When he fled, it's believed Gill chased the man down and stabbed him with the knife. The victim ran to the grocery store Piggly Wiggly to call police. Thankfully, his injuries were not life-threatening. Gill is being held in the Nash County Jail under a $50,000 bond. Police continue to search for a man who allegedly attacked his girlfriend last week. Nearing the wee hours of Friday morning, the 34-year-old woman recounted to police that her boyfriend, 42-year-old James Ray Whitaker, threatened, then strangled her. Police say they believe Whitaker fled shortly after the crime. Currently, he is wanted by police for the assault. If you know his whereabouts, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 252-977-1111. And local authorities are getting a big help from technology to fight crime. Recently, State Controller David McCoy came to Nash Community College to roll out Phase 3 of a computer program called CJ Leads, a criminal tracking database for local law enforcement and judicial employees. He told us what the software is all about and how it will help catch the bad guys.
And every day.
Well, CJ Leads is a criminal justice data integration system that integrates all of the state's criminal justice data on all of the offenders that we have in the state. That is 41 million files on 13 million offenders.
Okay. Who's using it right now, and also when will our local authorities be able to use it?
Right. Well, we started rolling out in Wake County and have rolled out, this is actually Phase 3. We rolled out in Phase 1, Phase 2, and now Phase 3. The officers here and the court personnel here be able to use it as soon as they're trained. So we're kicking it off, and once we have these meetings with the leadership, then the folks will come in, our team will come in, we'll do the training, and as soon as they're trained, the system is activated, they're able to use the system.
Okay, and for people in Phase 1 and 2 who already been using it, how effective would they say the program is?
Well, I was at an automobile shop having my car repaired, and met an officer and told him that I was associated with this program, and he said, and I'm pretty much quoting him, that is great. That is about the best thing that has ever happened. And what we hear over and over again from folks, State Highway Patrol veterans and deputies and so forth, that they've been waiting for this thing for their careers, bringing this technology to them. They don't live in that CIS kind of world, that CSI kind of world that people think they do. It is really technology poor, but North Carolina has taken quantum leaps. We're way ahead of other states with regard to how it is that we're using our data now.
All right, and how do programs like this help in fighting crime?
Well, they're going to help us in many different ways. For example, we had a fellow up here that was an officer that was shot up in Roanoke Rapids, you recall that. Now, in that case, that fellow happened to be from out of state. But if that person had been from North Carolina and that officer, when he ran that particular tag, would have known that that fellow was a violent offender. He would have an icon that tells him to approach with caution. He would be able to call for backup and would be able to deal with that circumstance differently and perhaps have a different outcome. In addition to that, we know about whether or not, because we're able to watch people, we have them on lists so that if they are arrested overnight, the court will know that if they call the case and the person shows up, doesn't show up, they happen to know that they're over in Johnston County, for example. Rather than issuing a bench warrant for the arrest, they know exactly where they are. So all sorts of different ways, having all of this information immediately available to those officers are going to make the officers safer, and they're going to make our community safer. North Carolina has been trying to do this since 1994, and but it wasn't until a set of tragic events occurred. Abhijit Muhato, a student from over at Duke University, he was from India, was murdered, and when it was found that Demario Atwater, one of his murderers, was also involved in the murder of Eve Carson, the General Assembly said that they wanted to have something done about this and done about it immediately. They charged our office with developing the system. In October of 2008, they said we would have a contract with a vendor in place, and we've been about the business since then. Started in Wake County. We have always been, our mentality has been build to succeed. That is, scope it so that you can do what's realistic. Don't try to do so much that you fail. Instead, we started with Wake County, then we did Phase 1, then we did Phase 2, now we're doing Phase 3. So always with the idea that whatever it is that we're doing, this is an iterative process. We're building capacity as we go, adding new functionality, but it's always been with the idea that we always want to be successful in everything that we do. Just like on your laptop, and just like when you pull up let's say eBay, you know, you have the whole list of different things. Well, here what you'll have is a list of all these different offenders, And then we also have little boxes that you can drill down, so you get a big piece of information to start with, and then you can drill down and get to the little details with each point and click, with lots of filters and so forth, because obviously when you're dealing with 41 million files, you need to be able to filter. But again, it all happens in the matter of nanoseconds, and an officer is then able to really have a good picture and an awareness of what it is that he's dealing with or who he's dealing with.
According to McCoy, CJ Leeds is being paid by taxpayers through North Carolina's general fund. So far, the state has spent $10 million or $186 per user to use over 5 years, which is 0.1% of the cost of a former program. When the software is fully operational throughout the state, it will cost taxpayers $27 million, with $8 million to operate and maintain it, which is approximately $266 per user. The program will be introduced to counties throughout the state through September. When we return on Newsbreak, over the last few days, the community has come together to lend a helping hand. We'll see how one local church and a business of technology has put forth their effort to help those without food and power. Stay with us. We're your news team, bringing it home to you with meteorologist Fred Holdsworth, anchor Marie Torres, sports reporter Edward Green, and Matt Habit, our studio guy. WHIG TV Newsbreak, your voice in the community.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home, with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We're filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Welcome back to WHIG TV Newsbreak. I'm Marie Torres. A local church joins forces with one of our nationally acclaimed businesses of technology to help thousands without power and food this week. Tuesday afternoon, Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church was one of a few facilities in Rocky Mount who sponsored a feed kitchen with the help of Bob Babington, owner of Babington Technology, to provide hot meals to helpless residents. One of Babington's mobile kitchen operators explains.
Babington Technology is the one that developed it and everything, and it can you can take it to, it's real mobile. You can take it to any kind of disaster area, and we can feed up to 1,000 people like it ain't nothing. Hot food. It's really conventional and everything, and it's basically everything that you would have in your house is in that truck.
All right, well, talk about then how important it is for the people in the surrounding areas that don't have power right now, and what it means to come out and be able to provide this kind of service for them.
Well, Babington Technology is glad to be able to help all their surrounding areas, and anyone that needs anything to eat or whatever. Babington Technology is here to help. We're serving hot food today, and for anyone that needs food or whatever.
Says she is so grateful for the help she's received while at Tuesday's feed kitchen operation.
Here to receive this blessing because I've been knowing this church for a long time, and for as long as I've been knowing it, they've been a good church. They help when they can help, and they help anybody they can help, and it's a blessing to have a church like this. It most certainly is.
Are you still out of power at your place?
No, my power came back on this morning. It went off and it came back on, and this morning it went off again, but thank God it's back on again.
And just talk about then for the people out there in Rocky Mountain and the surrounding areas that still don't have power, how important this is for them.
Oh, this should be very important to them because like you said, the one that don't have power, can't cook, can't keep no cold food or ice or nothing like this, it's just a blessing all the way around. Just to be thankful that we have someone like Ebenezer Baptist Church to be on our side.
Pastor of Ebenezer Baptist, Thomas L. Walker, told us how the two entities came together and his hope that the state will provide help to our devastated counties.
How this kind of came together with Babington Technology coming in to support you guys.
Well, you know, we have some people who've been out scouting and trying to see what we could do in conjunction with other dynamic ministries such as Englandwood, who's done an outstanding job, and other churches. As a result, we have an ongoing relationship with the Red Cross. And of course, the Red Cross have contracted with this company, and so as a result, they know that our facilities are open for anything that lifts the quality of life of people. And so we were here. It was sort of just a natural fit to do this.
Any last comments for the people at home?
Well, I just want to say that, you know, we are prayerfully hoping that people, that we'll continue to have the needs met for people. I am concerned that we have a report that Edgecombe County was not designated as a federal crisis ready that makes them available for federal funds. I'm not sure about Nash County, but I do know that there's been extensive damage in probably both counties, and I would hope that both counties have been designated. And so we're trying to contact our political leaders to have them take another look at that, because the damages continue to mount.
As Pastor Walker mentioned, as of now, Nash and Edgecombe counties have yet to be added to any crisis list for funds by state or federal government, but we will keep you updated if our area is added. Much thanks to both Babington and Ebenezer Baptist Church for their assistance of our community. And as we go to break, here's a look at the days ahead in weather.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The business center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the country Inn and Suites, rocking out.
And we're back. With me now with a look at sports is WHIG-TV sports reporter Edward Green. Tell us, Edward, what's the latest?
Well, Maria, as you saw right before we went out to weather, before we came out to break, we had a little look at the weather, and as you know, it was a little bit better of a forecast this week than last week with all the hurricane stuff going on. It was really crazy, and thankfully, it looks like some of the area team schedules are going to be able to get back on track, and it looks like after that, we're going to be able to be playing some football. So good for that, and we're going to be able to get to some football scores right now. Well, although the weather has changed up many school schedules so far, it does seem like we will be getting the majority of our area games in this week. And with students returning to schools now, we know that our Freedom Credit Union game of the week will be Southwest Edgecombe taking on Wilson Hunt in a non-conference battle. Now, Southwest has only played one game so far this season, while Hunt played just its second game of the season this past Tuesday. Now, we spoke with Hunt coach Randy Raper about players that he lost from last year's team, along with those still looking to fill the holes this season, as well as the upcoming schedule and how the game of football has changed in the conference in recent years.
No, there's no more Tyrell Vincents, and there's no more Caleb Drivers. You know, that's a one-in-a-lifetime little deal there for us anyways. But you know, we've got some good young talent. It's just going to take time to develop, and we've got some pretty good size this year for a change. But you know, and until they get some experience and until our offensive line and defensive line come around, you know, what skilled people we do have will struggle. Vernon Holman, you know, he's a kid that we brought up at the end of his sophomore year toward the season, and due to some injuries and stuff, and we had to have him there, and so right now he's growing into that leadership. He was a leader on that JV team, and these kids right now that are all coming up right here are the same group that were there his 10th grade year as freshmen. So they're all back together more or less, and at that point in time he was the ringleader of that group, and it's followed through to right now. So there again, we've got some good seniors and some good senior leadership, and that's what you got to have. It's going to be tough. It's going to be nothing like what the conference is going to hold, but our non-conference schedule with a Beddingfield, Southwest Edgecombe, you know, out of that 2A league, which is a very strong 2A league, and then you got Charles B. Aycock and Eastern Wayne, and then we play Fike as a non-conference game too. So it's going to be interesting. I really don't know what's coming back as far as the non-conference players that they have and all that good stuff. So, you know, it's going to be interesting, but it's not going to compare to what our conference is going to bring. Every year the kids get bigger and stronger. I think, you know, there's a little bit more emphasis, which in my way, I'm a football coach, so naturally I think a lot of emphasis should go on football. You know, that's your money program for say. So, you know, and everybody is putting in the effort and the time, and that's what it takes. You know, you're not just going to show up and win. There's a lot of work that goes involved in getting these kids prepared, and I think our coaches in the Big East and around the area are doing a much better job of preparing their kids.
As far as our Tuesday scores go, Hunt improved to 2-0 with a win against CB Aycock Tuesday. Another Wilson team, Fike, was not as fortunate as it fell 35-23 against Bunn. And as for this week's games, Fike looks to rebound as it hosts Beddingfield. Southern Nash will try to continue the role it is on when it takes on Bunn. Our game of the week again is Southwest Edgecombe at Hunt. Rocky Mount looks to continue building more momentum before its first home game of the season with a third straight road game, this time at Hertford County. However, that game will be played on Saturday. And we do have 2 postponements to report. Nash Central was going to be hosting Roanoke Rapids today. That game has been canceled as of right now, and Northern Nash and Tarboro were scheduled for this Friday. That game has been moved to September 23rd. So Marie, we are close to returning to a little bit of normalcy in our football schedule, and next week we should be on a really regular schedule. So back to you. All right. Well, thank you so much, Edward. And thank you for watching NewsBreak today. Join us next week when we'll continue to have more news that's impacting the community. For WHIG TV, I'm Marie Torres. Have a great day.